Qi, or qi, is supposed to represent a mystic energy in Dungeons and Dragons that monks can use. This idea has been shamelessly stolen from Chinese traditional medicine and martial arts, where it's believed to be a life force within one's body that can be channeled to perform amazing physical feats. In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, your monk character gets qi points at level 2. And from that point onwards, you have the same number of qi points as your level. So, for example, a 5th level monk has 5 qi points. We can think of qi points a little bit like spell slots for wizards. You have a limited number of them, and they can be used to power different features, which are a little bit like spells. One big difference is that monks regain all their qi points after a short rest, whereas most spellcasters only get spell slots back after a long rest. That means, monks, that you can use your qi points freely. You don't have to hoard them. At second level, you start with 3 qi features, and you get more as you level up. Before I explain the features, let me remind you about actions and bonus actions. Each time your monk takes a turn in combat, you get to make 1 action and 1 bonus action. And this is usually going to look like using your action to attack, probably with your monk weapon. It might be a short sword or a spear. And then, because of your martial arts ability, you will use your bonus action to make 1 unarmed strike. That's your punch or kick or headbutt or whatever it is. You make separate attack rolls and damage rolls each time. Now, let's add in the qi features. Your first one is Flurry of Blows. It costs 1 qi point, and this will add 1 unarmed strike to what you normally do. Instead of making 1 attack and 1 unarmed strike, you get to make 2 unarmed strikes. The second qi feature is called Patient Defense. This also costs 1 qi point. Here you're going to make your normal attack, plus you will use your bonus action to dodge. This is a great defensive option if there's a lot of enemies crowded around you. Everyone who attacks you is going to be at disadvantage. The next one is called Step of the Wind. It costs 1 qi point. Now you'll make your normal attack, and you're going to use your bonus action to disengage. That means you can get away from hand-to-hand combat without getting hit. That could be for a strategic withdrawal, or it might mean you skip past the front line of attackers so that you can get to that squishy wizard hiding up the back. The other thing you can do is dash. Use your bonus action to dash, which will give you more movement. Note that these last 2 features, the Patient Defense and the Step of the Wind, are very similar to a rogue's cunning action, where they can use their bonus action to dodge, disengage, or dash. So what we can see now is that the monk needs to think about how they want to use their bonus action. You only get 1 each turn. You could always add 1 unarmed strike for free, or if you want to start spending qi points, and hey, why not? They come back with a short rest. Well, then you can make an extra unarmed strike, or you can mix in some defense with the offense. Flurry of Blows is the most obvious choice, but which one is best is going to be situational. You'll have to make that decision. Now, as you level up, you get even more options. At 3rd level, the monk gets an ability called Deflect Missiles. This means you can make a reaction during an enemy's turn if they're shooting arrows at you, or firing crossbow bolts, or throwing daggers at you. And it allows you to reduce the damage. This happens for free. You don't have to spend any qi points on that. But here's the thing, if you reduce that damage right down to 0, you actually catch the arrow out of the air and you can fling it back at the attacker. To do that costs 1 qi point. It's situational, it's not going to come up too often, but when it does, it's going to look epic. At 3rd level, you'll also choose your monk subclass, and that's going to give you even more options to use your qi points. I'm not trying to go into that here because there's just too many options. In this video, we're just going to cover the main key features that all monks have access to. Now at 5th level, your monk gets to make an extra attack as part of their action. So we need to update our table. It now looks something like this. You'll use your action to make 2 attacks with your spear or your short sword, and then your bonus action you can use to make 1 unarmed strike. Flurry of blows would make it 2 unarmed strikes, and so on. Also at 5th level, you get to use Stunning Strike. You can add this to any of your normal attacks as long as you hit your enemy. It costs 1 key point and it's amazing. Your enemy has to make a Constitution saving throw or be stunned for 1 round. Being stunned is really bad. It means they can't move, they can't attack, they can't cast spells, and everyone who attacks them is going to do it with advantage. This is the sort of thing that they might never recover from. And here's an idea. When an enemy's trying to run away from you, you could add this Stunning Strike to your opportunity attack and lock them down in place. It's an awesome ability. Make sure you use it. Okay, these are the key features available to all monks, and these are the sort of things you should be using in every fight. And 90% of monks out there can stop watching now, but if you're interested in some stuff that happens at really high levels, here it is. At 14th level, you get a feature called Diamond Soul. It costs 1 key point, and it allows you to re-roll a saving throw if you fail it. That's cool. At 18th level, you get a feature called Empty Body. It costs 4 key points, but it means you can become invisible for 1 minute, and you take half damage from basically everything. And at 20th level, the maximum level, there's a feature called Perfect Self. And if a fight starts and you've already used all of your key points, well, they give you 4 key points back straight away, which is super useful. Well, there are the main key features available to all monks. You'll have some extra ones from your subclass as well. I hope it was helpful.